Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And this video is like a week overdue.
It is.
So today we are going to be telling all on everything on your hot burning questions that you all had asked. Almost probably 2 weeks ago, we asked everybody to put down in their comments their top questions that we haven't answered or we hadn't touched on a video. And then we asked the rest of the group to like their favorite question. Well, we have our top ones and y'all got spicy.
So the first question was from Vivian. She said, and this has been asked a lot. She said, are we concerned or sad about splitting up the compound?
Yeah, and so this question had like almost 100 likes on it. So it's obviously a very popular one that people were curious about. This quick answer, yes, we are sad about splitting up the compound. However, as tight as we are, the compound has felt split up for quite some time now.
Yeah.
There was a vision and a goal for this place, and then when my stepdad passed away, it really just felt like it was very broken, and we spent a year trying to see how things would go, but it really just felt like everybody needed their own path and their own new beginning. So
it felt like the goals shifted and everybody now kind of has their own goals.
Right, and there's nothing negative about it. We're all fine. It's just the compound dream that we originally had. There's the B. It's just no longer here anymore. All right, from Meg, the next question.
Meg Mims.
Meg? Is that who said?
Yeah.
Oh. Are we still planning on another baby? Yes. We have not stopped trying. We have been just doing the thing ever since we had agreed on that we wanted a third one. However, it just hasn't been in God's plan just yet for us to be blessed with a third child. To be honest, with everything that's going on in our lives and the stuff from when we made that decision to where we stand right now, it may be in the best until we get settled in, but we're just leaving it in His hands, and we'll see what happens.
It has, excuse me. It has been over a year, and I think we're both doing things to get healthier and try to make that possible. And when we get moved to our new house, I know for one, I'm going to have to check up and see, what's going on, if there's any issues, but I don't think there is. I think it's stress and bad timing and just not the right plan.
Yeah,
but
I completely agree.
We still want another baby.
Yeah, never stopped.
Next question is from Jess Deborah. She said, since you've spoken about how great the school system is in the new community, would you consider sending your kids to school there, or do you envision homeschooling your kids all through their school years? It is something we've talked about. We did do, quick glimpses of the schools in the new community, and they're very, very nice. We have asked the kids and told them that every year they're able to decide what they want to do. Right now, they both want to homeschool. If that... We got a lot of pollen flying around, a lot of allergies. We'll just reevaluate every single year and ask them what they want to do. But yeah, it's definitely an option. Yeah,
absolutely. Like she said, before we even decided to homeschool, it was going to be reassessed every year. Yeah. And right now they're enjoying homeschool, and so are we.
Yeah.
All right, question number 4 from Towering Pines. And this one was, again, liked by a lot of people because we also do have a lot of YouTube creators that watch our channel. So this one was, what advice would you give to a new gardening channel just starting out and trying to grow our subscribers so we can share what we're doing more broadly? That's a very good question. It's something that we get asked a lot about, basically growth of a gardening / homesteading channel. The biggest thing I can tell you all is we're not any of those. We're not a homesteading or gardening channel. We're more of we like to say like a family life channel for entertainment. And now we do obviously have a lot of how-tos and a lot of specifics with gardening. So we do teach along the way, but our main focus is our family and our lifestyle.
Yeah. Just a little insight, and I don't know, this might sound bad, but I don't mean it to sound bad. The homestead and gardening genre is very, very flooded right now. So if you pinpoint yourselves to those two things, it's going to be really hard to stand out and get noticed. If you just be yourselves, be entertaining, and try to provide something every single video for somebody, even if it's just an uplifting, quote or something. Instead of pinning yourself down, it can take you farther.
Yeah, there's certain channels that have a very specific niche, or like how-tos are where they get all their views. One thing that you'll notice about us is we don't have any real videos. Dolly's down here just really wanting attention. We don't have any real videos that are like those 1 million+ views, and that's okay. Her zucchini bread did hit over 100,000, which is great in the pickled eggs. But we're just going with a consistent growth of just enjoying the lifestyle channel, because that does free up our videos and you all seem to be entertained by really whatever we put out there.
Yeah.
So thank you all. So straight up advice, be yourself. Don't try to figure out what your niche is. Let it come together within that kind of first year of YouTubing. You'll start noticing what people watch more than they do less. Kind of like our cooking videos. Completely bombed the first year. It was like the worst videos we ever created. Now they're like our top videos, you know, when we're doing something in the kitchen. So don't narrow your niche down, let it find you, and I promise it will come.
And also get involved in the YouTube community, not just gardening and homesteading, but just be involved. Comment on videos, talk to people, and just put yourself out there.
Yeah, and sorry, to add a little bit more to that, check out camera angles. Check out what people do with their camera. You know, once you start editing videos, you know what they're doing. So just kind of check out some of that stuff, things that are fun, test things out on your channel, see how they work.
Yep.
So as we're talking, all the front porch goats and puppy are wanting animal crackers. Aren't we, goats? Let's take a pee-pee.
Living a Rogue Life asked, how and where did we meet Jess and Maya from Roots and Refuge?
Okay, so our good friends Jess and Maya. So we met them, well, through YouTube like everyone else. And we started watching their lives. It was a very popular channel that we just watched before we did any YouTubing, as most of y'all probably were as well. And one video that Jess had kind of brought us out of a dark place. And you know, it was one of those things like we just connected. It hit home. It was at a time that we really needed it. And that's when we did our divorce video because it did inspire us and it brought us out of a hole, and now we're stronger and better than ever. And you know, part of that, we thank Jess in that one specific video, which I can't remember what it was called now, but I will link it in the description down below. But when we actually physically met them was at the Deep South Homestead meetup at 2019.
18?
No, 19.
Was it 19?
19 in March.
Like a lifetime ago.
It has done that. Yeah, it was 19 because then we did the shindig. Yeah, so it was March of 2019 at Deep South Homestead's gathering that they have. Love them to death. They're awesome. They're, you know, some of our greatest friends that we have. And we talk often. And even with the crazy lives that we both live.
We immediately clicked, and then we spent time at their house. They spent time at our house. We traded goats and, you know, all the fun stuff. And yeah, they're just the people that you meet and you click, and they're lifelong friends, which is really awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Kentucky, the gray state. It has been one of those weird, where you at? It has been one of those weird times, you know, when you're changing seasons where, like, I'm wearing a hoodie. She's wearing a t-shirt, but she wears a t-shirt in the middle of January. But I had this attire on, then by like 2 p.m., I'm like, I'm sweating. So I had to put shirts and a t-shirt on, and by the time 5 o'clock hits, you're back in the hoodie.
Heater on in the morning, windows open in the middle of the day, heater back on at night.
It's absolutely nuts right now. What are you doing, you crazy cat? She just come jumping. I had to put this plywood up so goats couldn't get down and dogs. She just jumped straight up on top of that, just come to wherever we were.
The next question is from Linda Marquise. It is a very different question that I didn't expect, but it's kind of fun. She said, Jen, do you have photos that you can share from when you were in beauty competitions and share your memories? Also photos of you two when you were going together and dating.
Yeah, so as we're answering this question, we will throw some of those pictures up because we do have some of those. Probably not the best ones that we could ever have, but it's the ones that are still in the vault that are hanging around. But yeah, tell them about the beauty pageant days. I really don't know.
Pageants when I was younger, probably from like 10 to I think 19 was my last one. I won the last one and ended my career, and
Mike dropped it and walked away.
But yeah, not something you would probably ever expect, but yeah, it was a really big part of my life, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot of lessons from it, so when you see the pictures, you're not going to recognize me.
Yes, you will. You absolutely will. And when we first started dating, for those that don't know, we met at a local bar here it's just like one of the bars in Frankfort.
Yeah.
And we met, and she is one of those that was always in a relationship, like always. I had no idea she was going to be there. I just went with some friends of mine, and she happened to be there, and there was no guy for once. And I was like, I found the window. And then the rest is history.
Yep.
All right, Diane Anderson asks, what are your plans on starting your new garden from scratch? Do you draw the design first or just roll with it? So part of us is just rolling with things.
Big part.
However, here we were so tied in that we just had to throw together what we had.
Yeah.
There we do have cleared space to where we can figure it out. So what we're going to do, we will definitely throw something temporary up real fast this winter so we can definitely garden.
Just grow something.
Yeah, just so we can definitely grow something. However, our permanent, like what our plan is, will be a little bit more drawn out. And I am visual, and you are as well.
Mm-hmm.
I will draw it out on paper just to kind of get some ideas, and we'll probably throw a bunch away. But we are going to have major in-ground food plots. And then the main one that we'll design is more of our pretty raised bed garden area that we have, because we really want to make it something a little extra special.
And we definitely hope to have a high tunnel.
Yes, for sure.
Long-term goal, but it'll be cool.
Yeah.
The next question is from Brigitta Sire. Sorry if I butchered that. They said, will you consider keeping bees on your new property, and where do you attend church?
That is two very random questions, different questions. So bees, yes. Eventually, we will probably get.
I don't want bees.
It's mainly talking her into it. But for sustainability, you know, honey is amazing. It's a substitute for sugar.
And beeswax.
And yes, beeswax.
I know the positives.
Yeah.
I just don't want them.
She's seen a lot of the horror stories from people that have been stung and all the chaos that can happen.
Brutally.
Yeah. Ben Vincent from VW Family Farm, you're not helping our cause any. Also good friends of ours, VW Family Farm, if you haven't checked them out. Anyways, we make so many salves that we have to have bees. We like it. It only makes sense for us to have our own beeswax instead of, you know, buying local or purchasing organically. If we can have it, we need to do it. So it's mainly, I might just surprise her with bees one day and be like, ta-da!
And I might surprise them and rehome them.
All right, the second question of this, church.
Where do we attend church? Right now, we attend church at a small church that is literally at the end of the road from us, like quarter of a mile down. But it is virtual right now, so that's what we do. We watch it on Facebook, and we do have plans of a church when we get there. Some people in the community have already invited us to come in, and we can't wait. And again, it's right down the road from our house. So
yeah, and our biggest thing with church, not the thing with church, but we are a little picky about the churches we attend, and a lot of that is you know, the preacher and the people. We watch, we pay attention, you know, when we come in. A lot of that has to do with it, just how the people and the preacher is. You know, a lot of places we've been to, it feels like we're, you know, either watching videos or they're telling me stories or they're relating to you know, famous people, and I'm like, where's the scripture? What, you know, when are we going to talk about what we came here to talk about? So finding that right fit, because it is important, you know.
For the kids too, a children's church, you got to find the fit for them.
Right, and you know, so we did finally find a church here, which took us forever, and so hopefully it doesn't take near as long when we get down to our new place. Okay, the Leafy Lunchbox. I like that name, by the way. Any advice for dreamers who are wanting to bite the bullet on a piece of land, but are surrounded by uncertainty? You two always seem to manage the stress well. What's your secret? The number one secret is good communication between you and your spouse. Not holding things in, not letting your frustrations boil inside of you, because eventually you're going to let them out on somebody. But to me, I think that's the biggest thing about it. The second piece is fear and conquering it, and how do you overcome the scariness of going for it? Because that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I mean, you know, I do get to work from home 100% for my job, which is nice. But then I also think, like, what if something happens and I have to, like, go back into work? Well, where we're moving isn't close to a big town that is really able for me to do what I currently do. So that part does scare me a little, but you can what if yourself to death. You can what if yourself over absolutely everything. But what you can control is, does it feel right? Does it feel right in our heart? Does it feel right in our soul? Does it make us smile? Does it make us feel good? If all those answers are yes, you jump on in and go do it. Because the rest will work out as planned. And you know, whatever happens with work, job, all that stuff, technically it's materialistic, and you can get another job and you can figure out different things to suffice to make your dreams come true. Yeah,
and logistically speaking, it is the perfect time to do it. So if you're on the edge and thinking about it, go for it, because the housing market is great. There's no better time to do it than right now. So jump in. And the thing about right now is you might not find exactly what you're looking for, but you can find something as close to it as possible and then go for it. And then you'll have your homestead. Yeah, absolutely. You know, when we moved right here, even though it was close and we're on family land and we had family all around us, there wasn't nothing here but a bunch of trees. And that was 7 years ago now? 8? I think so. Maybe.
And it was scary and it was rough, but it was some of the best memories that we'll ever have, fighting through all the struggles. And the number 10 question that was asked that all of you all wanted to hear is, what will we miss the most about right here?
That's hard. I think I'll miss certain things about our house, how open it is, how we're always together, we're never separated. However, I'm excited to be a little bit separated and have our own spaces. I'm just gonna miss it in general. I'm gonna miss a lot of it. I'm gonna miss, my mother-in-law being down the hill, my mom right across the street, basically, Jed being here. All that's gonna be difficult, and I think that's ultimately what we're gonna miss. But we're gonna stick it out and we're gonna do it, because last time we did not. Last time we moved and ran back.
Yeah, and we still y'all hear us talk about North Carolina all the time being the best 9 months of our life. I think what I'll miss most, these goats are going nuts. It's almost dinner time. I think what I'll miss most, I've missed for a year now. And again, that is zero offense to anybody that's still here. But it just changed everything. And I think I haven't felt the same about here since he passed away. So I think what is missing has been missing for a while. But not getting so emotional part, I think what I'll miss the most is honestly being on top of this hill. Yeah. Like right now it's cloudy and you can't see, but we get the best sunrises, sunsets. We get to see the clouds so well.
Let's watch the storms roll in, and then sometimes they miss us.
Right. Oh yeah, that's wild, because we're on top of this hill. It's we can literally see the seas parting, but in the clouds. However, I'm excited for our new views. I was looking at one thing. Our porch faced west, so we can't sit on this porch when the sun's going down, because it just blinds you like crazy. Our new house faced south, which I really like, and so we also do have mountain views, which I cannot wait to see. So some of the things I think I'm gonna miss. I'm really excited for the new part. And the biggest thing that I can warn to all of y'all, especially with that previous question, when you dive in, when we move to this new place, all of a sudden we're gonna start thinking of all the good things and all the best things about this place. And we're gonna get homesick, and it's gonna hit you deep in the heart. Because we've learned it and we've did it, when you start feeling that, you have got to open your eyes to the memories you're making now and the new best things. Because as soon as, say you said, all right, nope, can't do it, I'm moving back, you'll start missing down there. It's in our hearts, it's just our minds, it's how they work. And so we can control that by making sure we're looking forward and not looking back all the time.
So those almost are fun.
Almost fell down.
Fun questions.
Those were fun.
Quick update just about all the other stuff. I'm okay, I promise.
Yeah. So people that might not know, we go live every Monday night. You just saw me.
Yeah.
And it's because we had a bad day. It was one of those, we let the emotions just take us, and we did not stop them. And we just let ourselves to have a down day. Yeah. Soaking in our own emotions.
Yeah, for me it was more like 2.5 days, but
that's okay.
It's okay. I got through it, and sometimes you just hit the bottom, and then you gotta get yourself out of it. And,
right. Well, what happened for the people that don't know?
So our closing day got delayed again, which we knew was gonna happen, but when they actually say it, it hurts more than when you just think it.
You lose even that little sliver of hope that you're thinking.
Then you start losing all hope. You start thinking, this is it, it's over. And the truth of that is, it's not. And I'll be honest, sometimes in that certain situation, I struggle with my faith sometimes, because I know a lot of prayer has gone up, and it's hard to realize that prayer didn't necessarily work the way you wanted it to, because we're human, and we want it to go a certain way. We pray for something and we want it to go that way, even though we know that sometimes it's a not right now, or it's just an unanswered prayer. And I don't know, it's hard, but you get through it and you come out on the other side and fine.
Yeah. So it is crazy to think about unanswered prayers a lot. It's probably the biggest test that we have, especially when so many are praying, like she said. But that night we're laying in bed and we're having this discussion about unanswered prayers and, why, asking that bloody why question that we should not be doing, but we were. And so we went to bed, not necessarily stressed out, a little bit more disappointed, kind of like your mom says, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. That's kind of how we laid there as we drifted off to sleep, was disappointed. Both prayed that night. And then the next day, and this might not have anything to do with anything, but I get an email. I haven't heard from our finance people in probably over a week, because we're just waiting. And they said that the appraisal has finally been complete, like appropriately with all acreage, and the house appraised for what it needed to be, and it was sent to the underwriting, and that was the final thing they needed.
Yeah.
So hopefully now that means that it might bump back up. We are not thinking that's going to happen, but it does give us that hope back. I mean, it gave us that little bitty win, and that's what I told her. It's the little wins that keep you motivated and keep you focused on what the dream is, and that's what we needed.
Yeah, and
that
that's what
snapped us out
I
of
just
it.
need a little win,
Yeah.
just a small win to get our hopes back up, and that was good.
Very next morning. So it did. It brought us right back out. So we are completely just 100% waiting on underwriting. Huh? Oh. Always. It's always one of our phones every time. But there is nothing else that like has to be done for us to be clear to close. It is officially, you know, it's been in underwriting for like 3 weeks now. But the appraisal piece was the last thing they needed. So hopefully we get the clear to close in, you know, the next coming weeks. So our new target date is mid-October, which is past this date. But thankfully the people that are purchasing all of this is letting us rent October.
Yeah, we're staying here. Some people thought we were staying at the new house. I wish, but that didn't happen.
We did try though. We did try, because I know a lot of people suggested that. It's not able to right now because there's people
at our current home until we can get out.
Yeah, which is great because we don't have to move the animals and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't put so much pressure to like get us out in a day, because you know we paid up for all of October, so little, you know, maybe that was the blessing. You know, maybe that was the little win that we needed.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Just need the big one eventually.
This close, getting there. Okay, well these goats, like we sit out here all the time, feed them animal crackers, and they just. Who just took the cat
She just took
a
picture.
screenshot.
Oh my goodness, I cannot.
These animals are.
No, the kids aren't here. They went to Mom's tonight, but it feels like we have our kids and more kids because the animals are just.
And I'm getting nervous that I don't see any goats out there.
Right.
Like they. If y'all can see, that's where Charlie and all them are, and there's not a goat one. I'm really hoping they're out there eating grass, because I'm getting a little nervous. They're usually always standing there. So we're going to end this. I'm going to go check animals and feed everybody. The 7 piglets are doing great.
Yes.
We promise. We have sexed 2 of them because that's all we've been able to get out of. 1 boy, 1 girl. But we will sex them all, and a lot of people are interested in buying them. So we'll let y'all know as soon as we can. Just be patient with us. We're moving as quickly as possible.
All right, we love y'all.
See? She was off the live, and she done got out of her swing of things and doing videos.
Somebody's rambling.
Don't forget to subscribe below if you have not.
We love y'all.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.